you guys are ready?
Alright.
Are we all ready over here? All right, let's start.
Okay, so anxiety is an isolating problem, and most of all, it limits one's ability to reach out, and that'll be the problem that we'll be addressing.
And so for our hack anxiety idea, we introduced Vigil, a prophylactic buddy system app to talk to your friend when in need, integrated with wearable technology.
So that users can nominate their friends to be their lifeline, and also they can become a lifeline for other people in need.
That interaction can also then be recorded through the app and be used for personalized medicine with PCP.
And so the way that, just real quick, the way that it works is that your wearable technology is monitoring your heart rate, and when it detects that you're either having anxiety by elevated heart rate or that you're not moving and you have irregular heart patterns, your buddy will get a call to say that, hey, you should give your buddy Jacob a call because he might be having problems. And in that way, the friend is initiating conversation when someone is in need. And so they're not isolated anymore. Okay.
So we have a skit for you. Jacob has always struggled with anxiety. Using the Vigil app, it has significantly helped him to connect with people he has nominated, such as his friend Michael, to talk to him, message, or play games through the app.
And so options you can do, you can go over here, you can click your buddy, you can find a new buddy, see who your buddies are online. You can actually chat with your buddy, play games with your buddy, or become a buddy. You can also go to games, and you can do like Tetris, Word Finder, meditation, whatever it takes you to relax. You can also go to a forum where you can just talk with other people who have similar issues and blog about whatever's going on with you. And you can also connect your Fitbit.
Or other wearable device.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're not advertising Fitbits.
So,
Yeah.
Jacob,
So here I am acting out, I'm having an anxiety attack.
and I'm going to get a call, and I'm saying that Jacob's in trouble, and I'm going to give him a real quick call.
And I'll notice like my phone is ringing, I'll answer.
Hey, Jacob, how are you? Are you okay?
And then we'll have a conversation. That conversation will then be recorded through the application. And from there, we can converse until either I'm brought down, calmed down, or we keep going through.
Yeah, play game, just talk it out, and it's,
until
ameliorated.
I'm okay, until I'm enough to be.
Or if you need help, I can give someone a call.
Yeah.
But yeah, according to Jacob's discretion, he can decide to share his recordings with either his doctor or sharing it
To the app.
to the app.
Yeah. And then, so for our final slide, using this data, it'd be awesome if we could somehow leverage the data that we're recording to be able to use to actually help with diagnosing anxiety or other mental related illnesses. So, thank you very much.
All right, so we chose to address problem number 3. We're going to try to help people with anxiety increase their access to treatment. So the current system, for example, if you want to see a psychiatrist, you'll usually pay $500 for an initial consultation and $100 an hour for each session following that. And this system isn't integrated, so you won't be able to share your patient data with other medical professionals. It's discontinuous because it's only receiving treatment at the sessions and with whatever medication they give you, and it's very expensive.
So basically these are 3 core problems we want to identify. Like firstly, we make it continuous so that if you have anxiety, you have history of anxiety, your treatment never stops. It's an ongoing thing. Second, it can be accommodated into the broader ecosystem, and that's basically what our app addresses.
So our solution for this is to make a mobile application that allows continuous monitoring of the patient's anxiety, and this is going to maximize value by increasing treatment quality, decreasing doctor visits, and treating more patients.
All right, so this is a simple wireframe of the process right now. So the person in this case, they will sign up. They will go and actually go through the back inventory, which we read about earlier. And then what's really cool, so this will actually be in the format of a wearable, but some people might not necessarily have their cell phone handy. So what this does is this links up via the network, and they actually choose a gesture that they do. And it's not going to be something that they normally do, like if they're running, they might go like this. It's going to be something that they pick, so it could be a flick of the wrist, it could be like a zigzag. And that's how it knows that the person is undergoing an anxiety attack. So what you're going to do then is you're going to pick 2 safety people, people that you can rely on. And then what's going to happen is the next time the person has an anxiety attack, it will activate their support system via the gesture, and then it'll send a message to their support system letting them know that they need some assistance.
So one of the key developments that we identify and that had potential is like there has been significant improvements in nicotine delivery as a fail-safe line using transdermal patches. And if we could create similar mechanisms or similar fail-safe lines, like if a person is under high duress or is having an anxiety attack, at that exact moment a transdermal device releases maybe serotonin or something similar to calm that person down and act as a safe fail-safe line, that would be amazing. And we'd like to explore that. Secondly is acquiring voice samples. So instead of person putting their input at a discrete event, why not if we can create a mechanism for continuous monitoring, like consented voice calls, so that we have continuous data, and then we can go a layer deeper, like after 3 p.m. when you have your meetings, you are most anxious at that point, and it will allow us to get a deeper sense of analytics.
Focusing on a more objective anxiety diagnosis, we wanted to focus on young people, particularly college students, because the ADAA states that a vast majority of people with anxiety disorders actually exhibit symptoms before age 22. We also wanted to do something that would do a distinction between depression diagnosis and anxiety diagnosis because the crossover is so similar. And we also wanted to do something that would connect students with like a personalized and local resources near them.
So our solution would be an app that would comprise of 3 parts. The first would be a physiological questionnaire that would help avoid false positives that might occur by taking the Beck anxiety indicator, which is the second part of our app. The third part would be a depression anxiety distinction test using image association.
And so these are 3 screenshots of what our app could potentially look like. So starting off on the first screenshot here, you would have that physiological questionnaire. And so those are just 4 simple examples of what these physiological issues could be that would create those false positives in the Beck anxiety inventory. And so moving from there, you go into the Beck anxiety inventory, which would be integrated fully into the app. And after that step, you would be referred to local resources. So the 3 main areas that we want to include there would be the name of the resource, the average wait time, and the cost with insurance. Now this would be dynamic, so when you input your insurance information, etc., you would be able to see an exact price estimate of how much it would cost to go to these different resources. As well as with that average wait time, most of these counseling centers do have patient portals online that tell you when you can get your first appointment, so that can be dynamically updated by utilizing their different websites.
So 3 resources we wanted to connect students to would be professional help and diagnosis, which is what Duke talked about. Also social activities that might be happening on or off campus, like clubs, events that this particular patient might be interested in. Well-being, so meditation, sleep, diet tips to help improve their well-being. And then there would be emergency measures set in for certain flagged questions, like directing to like suicide hotline or immediate help you could get if you were suffering from those kinds of issues. And so all this information would be sent to a doctor, so it would be kind of that you would have the onboarding done before you actually went.
So that way when you do actually get into a counseling center, they already have a paper in their hands with the BAI saying what issues you're having problems with, and that way you aren't just starting fresh with a new doctor when you go in, which can save a lot of time in the onboarding process. Okay, we're good.
Okay, cool.
The cost of new treatments, the stigma of getting treatments, accessibility. So it's about time that we take control of our anxiety. Because the biggest problem for people with anxiety disorders, like myself, is that it's hard to take control of it. You're worried about taking control. That's why you have anxiety in the first place. So you need a way that people with anxiety disorders can take control of it themselves. So there's already an app out there called Pacifica, which allows people to record their thoughts, record how they're feeling, do diaries, and when you look back at that, people with anxiety disorders can really see what the problem is and what's going on with their anxiety. But we want to improve upon this already made format. And this is a kind of a rating by the ADA of how apps for anxiety disorders are rated.
So this app already has a lot, so here's some improvements we would like to make to it. So firstly, we'd like to have a questionnaire that indicates severity. So this has like 3 categories, as you can see over there, like mild, moderate, and severe. So we hope that with continued access to this app, we can keep more and more people in that mild area, so there are fewer people who drip down the moderate and severe categories. Then the second big thing is that we want all data sent to a central database, and this will be constantly monitored by professionals who will keep track of any like severe changes and make sure that everybody's progressing in the right direction. And lastly, we want to continue network. So people, for example, who have gone through this experience of suffering through anxiety and have recovered from it, we would like to have them sort of like help others going through the situation through the app, sort of like a tutoring service. People who've already been through this experience help others who are going through it right now get through it.
So this kind of helps solve all of the problems that he spoke about right in the beginning, because we are increasing the accessibility by task shifting to paraprofessionals. Like in moderate cases, they're going to be in a group that uses lay counselors that are trained by counselors. So it's improving the accessibility. The cost for clients is lower because now they're using a group CBT approach as opposed to an actual CBT approach. And then you're treating anxiety before it gets worse, and you're reducing stigma because you're in a group, so you know that there's other people like you.
These are some of the resources we would need to accomplish our improvements. We need some professional advice from a psychiatrist or a similar occupation, people used to dealing with anxiety, to know how to format and separate our forum. And we need app maintenance and development teams, as well as servers that collect data. And we'd also, of course, need patients and users for our app.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys.
A mental health app called Mindies to address anxiety. Currently, we know about 66% of people suffer from anxiety, and the degree of comorbidity with anxiety and certain other related mental health diseases is astronomical. So to really target health innovation from a new frontier, we wanted to focus on creating an app that lowered access to care and was able to target a much broader population. So we focused on Mindies, and what it essentially does is utilize the idea of gratitude, because typically people would turn to diaries and journals, write down 3 things that would help them and make them feel productive. That's been shown to be very effective. So our mHealth technology focused on that diary technique, but also tied in some other ideas from mobile apps like Pacifica, Calm, Headspace, and integrated them.
Yeah, so as you said, it's in the format of a diary, and the good thing about this app is that it offers a bunch of services as well as a place to just put down all your thoughts in. And so after you use it, it can read through some of the words, like if you use the word depressed, or if it's used the word suicide, something will pop up saying like, if you need more help, you can call a counselor or call a friend. And there would be a free version and the premium version, and the premium would offer the counseling services also.
So this is the format of the app. So on the right, it's formatted as a diary. So as you can see, this bookmark has many different options for what you can do. So it introduces, Mindies introduces itself as, with how are you feeling today? So it's very graphical based. You can pick how you're feeling from very content to very anxious. And then based on what you do, or what you pick, you can talk, activity, or voice sample. If you pick talk, you can write down how you've been feeling, and it will present you options for what you can do. If you pick activity, you have certain things like breathing exercises, yoga, diet, aromatherapy, coloring, and recipes. And if you do a voice sample, this can connect to Neuralex and send a voice sample to them for them to analyze your voice.
Treatment, and what's wrong with treatment nowadays? It's too expensive. No one doesn't know where to go, or they're embarrassed about going. Even if they could go, they don't want to talk to psychologists. So we also developed an app, but this app doesn't just connect you to resources, it is the treatment itself. So it's a combination of biomarker analysis, which the first thing you do when you interface with this app is you click on a thing that records your voice and you talk about your day. It's just supposed to be a daily, low-cost, personalized version of self-treatment. So say at night, you describe how your day went, that does a biomarker analysis, that can be sent to a doctor, and you can later be connected with a doctor if there are red flags. So part of the app is private guided meditation. Meditation has been, there have been many studies about meditation helping reduce stress and anxiety, but maybe a patient really doesn't know what to do. So there are already apps that exist that like guide people through meditation practices. So for 20 minutes it can tell you, like, relax your body, focus on this, and every few minutes it like reminds you of what to do and lead you through this practice. And then also you're doing it in a safe space, and if you're talking about your feelings, you're not necessarily talking about them
to a person where you feel like you have to withhold back. It's all about being private and in your room and just interacting with the app. Then there's guided journaling, which is not necessarily typing down on your phone how you feel, but it's a spot in the app where it goes and it prompts you with questions. Like, write about what you're thankful for 5 minutes, and then the app, like, everything goes away, there's a timer for 5 minutes, and you have to write. And it's meant to be like sitting down in your own room, because writing itself, like the act of moving your hand, is therapeutic, so it's not just like typing on your phone. It's supposed to be more connected and private. And then there's also an optional anonymous forum for support groups, but we want to keep this positive, and so again, there's like topics for discussion and like prompts, like share your success. The app is prompting you to be positive. And so we have these kind of markups about the areas you can go within the app if you want to.
Right, so this is the home screen here. You'll have something like the idea or quote of the day. You can either talk and use like Neuralex's speech analysis, or you can directly write. It'll bring up the flags. We got a meditation tab, which will bring up maybe some menu like this. It's personality tag, so it is tailored specifically to what you as the individual like. You have your journaling tab, which will give you selection topics of what to write about. And then you can share with professionals and other people who are also having similar anxiety problems as well.
The app is all about pushing you in the right direction towards positivity, mindfulness, and relaxation. So the main values of it are that it's low cost, it's private, 24-hour access. You don't have to, when you go online to do like therapy sessions with a doctor, it is 24-hour access, but you're not always going to be talking to the same doctor every time. And so you could have one doctor where your information is like transferred to them, and then they can provide you with feedback. So it can connect you to professionals if you need that. So to build this app, we need to refer to psychologists and experts in meditation to like develop these app prompts to guide people in the right direction. We need to network with psychologists who would be willing to participate in these forums through the app, and then maybe 2 to 3 years to develop this network, develop the app itself, do some like trials with it, and market it. Potential partners could be Neuralex, Georgia Tech, Emory, National Institute of Mental Health, can provide us with data and feedback.
Is that a lot of people do not have the correct knowledge or motivation to actively modify their daily habits to self-treat anxiety.
And so our main solution is like kind of creating an app that would connect with your calendars. You put in your basis like schedule for a daily week, whether you're a student or whether you have a job, and then you would get these notifications at basic times of when you should do some important like self-keeping stuff. So, and generally we would have these subliminal messages, as you can see on the screen right there, like either like a picture of like, oh, inducing you that you should probably go to sleep, or oh, you need to make sure you take care of yourself and keep hydrated, because we see that some of the main factors that are really they show trends with anxiety are definitely like lack of hydration, lack of proper nutrition, and then lack of sleep, and then also lack of just relaxation time.
So it'll utilize predicted times in your schedule based on your information and based on generalized information. So maybe it sees that you have a meeting tomorrow at 8 a.m. and 10 hours before that, it gives you a gentle reminder and kind of a relaxing image of someone sleeping. It says be sure to go to bed early tonight. So it's far more of a suggestion than a kind of controlled habit-forming app. It'll also tell you to drink water during regular meal times or when it sees you have a lunch meeting or something like that. It'd also see when you have free blocks of time in your schedule and say, you have 2 hours before your meeting, take some time to yourself and relax, or you're free for the rest of the day, take some time to get active or go outside. So because of this, it allows you to change your habits without thinking of it on your own. It works itself into your schedule without you having to actively make time for yourself. And so that way you can build habits with the minimal effort on your own part.
Yeah, one of the main things that we see in apps nowadays is that we have a Google Calendar, you have push notifications, but not all of them are tailored to your schedule. So this makes it personal and it makes it just for you.
What we'll need for this is someone to design the user interface and also someone to program the back-end data acquisition method to integrate it with Google Calendar and create a predictive model for each of these tasks. We'll need some time to develop the app and then a few months to test the usability with users.
And future expansion of this, you can check off that you've fulfilled your daily habits as they notify you. And then the potential applications are monitoring your mood and health progress over time based on how much you complete each of these tasks. And additionally, we had an idea to analyze your inputted food or diet based on diet apps or within the app itself, and make predictions about the nutrition that you might need, the amount of sleep that you might need based on the habits it learns you have over time. Thank you.